action coming out of the PMEA LCS. We got Team Grab Them by the Teemo over there on Team 2, with going against Team Great on Team 1. And here with me, shoutcasting, I got my boy DeLone, General Dill. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's up, everybody? How's it going tonight?
It's going good, it's going good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into these picks and bans real crisp and clean. So Team 1, or Team Great, is going to come out with the first ban, Lux. Obviously, that's going to be going towards Greg. And a Zed ban coming out from Team Grab Them by the Teemo. Does Opie play a lot of Zed? I don't really play with Opie all that much.
I haven't played many games with him, so I'm not really sure what he's into. I think they were looking him up earlier.
Okay.
So,
All right, so we're gonna assume that that's a target ban there for Opie. And honestly, Zed's not that much of a worse ban, because he's pretty stupid right now with lethality. I know a lot of pros are trying to pick him up and trying to get something going with Yomu's build and whatnot, since it is a core item for him.
yeah, that whole lethality buff definitely brought us back into the old meta that everybody hated, where it's just these caster AD carries and AD mid lanes and assassin jungles that really gain power off that mid game spike of flat armor penetration and just roll the game downhill
Yeah,
easily.
yeah, definitely. It's also the reason why Kha'Zix is really really strong right now, as well. So we're gonna get a second ban, Malzahar. That's gonna be going towards Will Brooks, because he does
Penetration
still
and
he
just
does still
roll.
play Malzahar's support. It's still pretty good. And we're gonna get a third ban, Syndra. So it looks like I think Opie actually does play Malzahar as well. So they're gonna try and outright ban Opie from the get go, and that's not gonna be the best situation for him, because he is going against Greg, who is an absolutely astounding mid laner, by his own right. A couple of MVP votes under his belt and whatnot. So they're gonna try and force him onto his fourth pick, and we'll have to see what he goes into here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this mid lane pans out. I think 5 out of these 6 bans were targeted straight towards that mid lane. 2 from Team Great targeting Greg with the Xerath and the Lux. Although I've not really ever seen Greg play Xerath, so I'm not sure where that's come from unless he's been trying to play that lately.
Actually, he has. He has tried to play the Xerath a lot more lately, so that's exactly where that's coming from. The Ziggs is still open. We saw him pull that out, and they opt in for the first pick Thresh. I don't think that's the. I don't understand why they went first pick Thresh there. Uh, Pan doesn't play Thresh, so you're not really taking anything away. I would have probably preferred to try and get like a Sejuani or maybe a Vi over to Urian, Elliot there in the jungle, or maybe a strong top lane pick like maybe a Nautilus or a Maokai for bounty. I just don't think first pick Thresh is the best situation for them right here.
Yeah, and what a lot of the pro teams have been doing lately is they've been trying to hold off on that support pick and try and get their AD carry the best possible chance down there. As you'll see the Morgana counter pick coming right out from Grab Them by the Teemo. So that sets up their bot lane to just play really well into this Thresh and really find a strong point down there.
Yeah, absolutely. But they also opt to. I mean, both teams are opting to get their bottom lane situated first.
I couldn't figure out which one it was.
Ooh, an interesting Diana pick there. I wonder if that'll go into the jungle or if they'll drop that in the mid lane. It's a good flex pick.
I know Elia does really really well on the Diana jungle. It's one of his go-tos, but the Sejuani is open, the Vi is open as well. So I'm not exactly sure why they would go Diana mid, and it's gonna be the Varus as well. So it's gonna be a Varus Thresh versus a Jhin Morgana. Uh, just right from the get go, what are you thinking right now, right there in the bot lane?
This is definitely. I don't know. It's really interesting because Varus is going to have that poke advantage on Jhin. And so if Varus can get them out of lane with a couple of well-placed arrows, then he can force back Jhin and take his farm. But if Jin's allowed to just press up and pressure him with that Morgana Black Shield, there's nothing Thresh is going to be able to do to save him there. And either team can snowball pretty easily depending on how it's going to come down to jungle pressure, I think,
Yeah,
in the end.
absolutely. And then we got a third pick Vi, more than likely going to Clumsy Chocobo. And fourth pick Shen going over to Gnarls Barkley. I really like the team comp that they're going with. I really like the team comp that they're going with right here. The Vi definitely still strong through the patches and whatnot. She didn't really get hit this time around on the previous patch. And Shen just bringing in the CC, as they say, and that extra level of protection to their carries. Whoever Greg decides to throw in the mid lane, or protect Bearded Bear Lover on the Jhin just a little bit more to get that damage out. So I really like the Shen pick and the Vi pick there. So they have their pick comp. Shen can go in with a flash taunt. Vi can click on somebody and say, you're not going to play League of Legends today, while they still have the backup of the Morgana to be able to peel for the Jhin in the form of the Black Shield and the Spell Snare as well.
Oh my, I think that is a Vayne bot lane, and we're going to see that Varus go into the mid lane.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Oh, that Vayne is going to be incredibly bullied out now in that bot lane. Jhin and Morgana are going to have a heyday down there since Vayne can't really poke back, and Thresh is just going to be helpless against that Black Shield. I'm not really sure what they're going for there.
Sorry, I cut out there. So yeah, I mean, Siege is the name of the game right now for Team Grab Them by the Teemo. They're definitely boasting a lot of it with the Ziggs poke, as well as the Ziggs Siege with that empowered W and whatnot. And really on the other side, I don't really see an answer to that comp. You have Elliot that's going into the jungle. Urian is going into the jungle with the Diana. You have the Scion top. That's going to be great for engages if they do decide to. Engage. You got the Varus in the back that can more or less peel for himself, in a way with his ultimate, or get a pick as well. And you have the Jhin, or no, actually he opted for the Vayne, did he not? Vayne's a little bit of an awkward AD carry pick there, especially into the Jhin. He's gonna get outranged, and he's gonna get heavily harassed in lane as well. So, you know, what exactly are you gonna be looking for as a Vayne into this Jhin Morgana lane?
Just the only thing the Vayne has a chance to do is just dodge out the bindings and try and scale up to that mid to late game when Vayne's power spike will allow her to just go invisible, jump in on that Jhin and Ziggs backline and try and nuke them down, as a Vayne does in a sort of assassin AD carry type of role. But I really don't see a whole lot of chance there in the bot lane. One binding, and that's going to translate right into a Jhin Deadly Flourish, combo those roots, and if Vi's there or Shen's ulting in, that Vayne's just dead instantly.
That's absolutely true. I just, just looking at the team comp from here, it's going to be a bloodbath because both teams are opting in for a pick engage comp with, the Scion, the Shen, the Vi, the Diana, and the Varus. So, really, what exactly do you think they should be doing in the team fights? What should each team's priority be against the other?
I really think looking in, it's the priority is for Team Great to just get that Diana in on the back line and try and get her to nuke one of the priority carries right away. If that Diana can take out the Ziggs or the Jhin, that'll halt a lot of their damage output, particularly grabbing that Ziggs early. He has huge team fight presence, and I've played against Gurg on that Ziggs, and he definitely knows how to hit multiple people with his bombs. And so just taking him out of the fight will be detrimental to grab them by the Teemo. But I mean, with that Shen there, I don't know if Diana can pull it off. She's going to have to go in solo. They have nothing else. That Scion's going to be stopped on the front line by whoever he hits first.
And we can only assume that that Gnarls Barkley on the Shen can actually taunt forward and intercept that ultimate and just lay down the the area effect sword where he doesn't take any auto attack damage, and that's more than enough to counter engage that. So I definitely agree with you there. Yeah, you just see a lot of really great picks coming out from Team Grab Them by the Team. You got the Vi in the jungle, strong in her own right, Ziggs in the mid lane. I mean, it's Ziggs at the moment, and Jhin, who's one of the top 380 carries. And then on the other side, you have their lane opponents Diana, Varus, and Vayne. I just don't see it. You know, I mean, Team Great have come out with some like absolutely amazing comebacks, and have done whatever they can, and they've actually brought out a tie in game 2. So you know, maybe it's a little bit of an adjustment. Also, Opie isn't their regular mid laner. So you know that we definitely have to take that into account as well. You know, is the team synergy going to be there? So it's just a lot of answers that have to come out of Team Great just right off the gate in game 1. So we're definitely going to have to see that.
Yeah, and another extra interesting thing on this Scion pick right into the Shen, I'm not sure why that was second picked against that Shen, because one of Scion's biggest strengths is he's tanky as all hell, yes. But when he gets into that team fight, his first job is to soak up all the damage and die. And he can output a lot of DPS with that passive going off. And Shen just drops the Spirit's Refuge and just nullifies Scion, everything about Scion. There's nothing Scion can do against Shen.
Yeah, so taking a look at the laning phase, Varus versus Ziggs isn't exactly it isn't exactly the most commonly played mid lane. So what are you going to see from both players here, or what exactly do you want to see, especially from that Varus who, you know, hasn't really seen a lot of mid lane play since season, I believe, last season, right? It was last season when Power of Evil took it in the mid lane.
Not really sure on that one.
Okay, well, I believe it was one season. It was either season 6 or season 5 where Power of Evil took it in the mid lane against all these caster mages as they were back in the day. So you know, what exactly are you going to be seeing from? What do we have to see from Opie in order for him to be successful in lane?
I'm thinking true success. They set up this lane. This is a very even lane matchup. The Ziggs versus the Varus. They both have the long range poke and decent clear. It's just he's got the same role Greg has over there on the Ziggs. It's just hit your poke more and dodge the other one. It's very, very evenly matched there, and it's just going to come down to a skill matchup. So he's just going to have to hold his own, throw some wards out, not get ganked, and then hope Aurion can just come in and solidify an easy lead for him.
And I do understand that, but the problem is that Urion on the Diana isn't exactly going to be effective for ganks until level 6. So we can only assume that, you know, Diana is going to be farming for up until maybe the 7 to 8 minute mark. So, you know, I do understand, and I absolutely agree with you that it is a skill matchup, but at the same time, you have Vi pressure as well. And Opie on the Varus actually opted to take in barrier instead of ghost or something else, and then Varus in himself before level 6 can't exactly protect himself from the lane ganks. So I just really don't understand where that Varus is coming from right here. Now you instead sub in the Diana for, say, a Sejuani, and you have a different dynamic there, because Sejuani can actually come in and help you relieve a lot of that pressure that the Ziggs may end up getting, especially early game. And, you know, help you out in lane, whereas a Diana doesn't exactly have that luxury or that pressure.
Yeah, it's going to come down to whoever hits that most farm first and gets their mana generating item. If Opie can come back with his tier early on, he can try and gain an advantage poking Greg out of there. unless he gets his lost chapter. And seeing as the lost chapter costs 180 gold more, I think Opie has a slight advantage earlier in that sense that he can continuously poke more and more a bit sooner than the Ziggs could. But we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, he actually opting in for the Deathfire touch as well. I'm not exactly sure if that's the correct keystone to go on that. I don't know if Varus bot lane goes Deathfire touch. I believe he does. If not,
Yeah,
Warlords.
the Deathfire touch is usually the more optimal thing because you're just casting out those long-range piercing arrows, and you're just trying to catch people and throw extra damage down. And with the lethality build, those things hurt. And tacking on a little bit of extra burning magic damage, it just makes it very oppressive to play against. You got to be quick on your feet to face a Varus.
So we're loading into the game right here. We're in game now. Do you happen to see any chances of an invade?
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see an invade, but it looks like Team Grab Them by the Teemo is looking to pressure in and get deep vision. If not, try and grab a pick with that Morgana Dark Binding. I think Team Great should have expected that and answered since they have that early Scion game, and here it goes.
Well, no, OP actually not getting hit by the Dark Binding, so they know now that they were trying to go in for some cheese, but it doesn't look like anything's coming out. And she did get the Pixel Ward, in, so she's gonna be able to dodge any other, or no, I'm sorry, the Varus. The Varus will be able to dodge any other form of CC that comes out. So with that missed Morgana Binding, looks like it's going to be some pretty standard starts here with... Or no, Diana actually... Oh, okay, I didn't know. She's just checking out the back animation.
We got Gnarls Barkley up there on Shen, guarding against the ever-famous first buff steal from Scion, trying to make sure Scion doesn't sneak in, take that red buff, and just pop an advantage in lane. I've seen that many times. It's actually really funny to watch.
Yeah, same. I play a lot of top. I myself play a lot of top lane, and every time I see a Scion, I'm like, he's gonna get red buff. That's fine. I'll just kill him in lane, and I'll get the red buff back. Doesn't even matter. So OP not really going into lane. You think he's gonna? Oh, he's gonna opt to try and steal the blue buff. Does he have vision? He doesn't exactly have vision of it.
Oh, it fires just short anyway.
He gets really close. So.
And that kind of cheese, that just lost him a pretty big experience advantage in lane. That Ziggs is gonna be able to push him in and hit early level 2 on him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get level 2 early by 2 minions. He's gonna beat him by 2 minions on the EXP chart. So definitely gonna have to see Greg out aggressing and just throw out as many spells as possible. As we see here, doesn't look like it though. He gets to level 2, so I guess Greg's trying to be a little bit more cautious with his mana. Just some standard trades. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Gnarls Barkley already gaining a substantial lead against the Scion. And, because he actually went Grasp of the Undying instead of the Curse of the Colossus on Shen. So he's going to be able to sustain a lot better. And he's going to... I mean, it makes sense. I would have rather seen the Curse of the Colossus, if I'm going to be honest. Because in team fights...
Going back in, he's coming in with the Twilight Assault. Oh, both flash. Good flash by Scion there to escape. Almost certain death. And Gnarls Barkley flashes in place, and Scion gets away.
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to say. So we got a flash burn top from both summoners here. And Gnarls Barkley just really putting the farm on early. I like to see a lot of top laners.
He was able to get that early level 2 on Bounty here because Bounty actually missed experience from one melee minion from leashing that blue buff for Diana. So put him a little bit behind, and Shen just got in on him with a quick taunt, easy Q, and just laid down the damage.
He's not going to be so lucky the next time. And he actually didn't go, he went Corrupting Potion, which I understand is the correct start on a Scion. But, you know, if you're not going to go red cheese, maybe, you know, as they start training a little bit here, not a lot's going to come out of it, though. But actually, Eric putting on some major damage on the Scion. You know, maybe a cloth and 4 pots would have been a little bit better there. to help, especially if you saw that that Shen was actually running the what's that? The Wrath.
Grasp of the
The
Undying.
Grasp, there we go. The Grasp of the Undying. Would have helped him a little bit
Oh,
better.
we see Vi coming in on mid lane. Varus is pushed up.
Oh, he has flash though. What's he gonna opt to do? He's actually gonna try and get to
Dro-
the wall and flash over, and that's what he does.
Oh, Ziggs with the flash over, and he's got him. First blood to Gurg.
Oh, and then actually in the bot lane, Psycho Boy getting taken out.
Oh.
with Baijin and the Morgana. Not really sure what happened there. But I did see that Fling Panda actually hit the Morgana binding. I just thought that they were.
Yeah.
I thought they were closer to the turret, so I thought, okay, well, they're just going to take a couple shots, but Vayne's going to be able to get away. But I guess they were farther away from the turret than I thought.
Yeah.
And this is the binding there. Ooh,
Oh,
Rose
got
with
the
an
hook. What a
amazing
hook.
Going to be able to get the heal off. Is Urian. He has red buff.
The red buff's slowing him down. Urian still has flash, and snipes him with the Q, the Crescent Blade coming in.
Okay,
And
so
Vi's there for backup.
okay, so you know, Elliot Urion making me eat my words a little bit and saying that Diana isn't really that effective pre-6. So
I mean,
you know, I like
In its own right, no, it's not very effective, but Will got out there and he hit that hook. He hit exactly what they needed, got Diana in there with the lantern, and just red buff keeping him locked down.
Man, a lot of people are like really sleeping on Will with this Thresh. Like, he's actually getting a lot better at it now that most of the time that he's being forced off the Malzahar. So I'm just really happy that he's making things work, making plays where they need to happen.
Yeah, and Fleeing Panda either not having the black shield up or not respecting that hook, just lets the Jhin get hooked in before dropping it later on.
I do believe that it was on cooldown. It was either on cooldown or he tried to make sure that he had enough mana to have a Morgana bind up. Oh my God! Will hooking through the minions. He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have heal. He's gonna have to walk out of there. But the Morgana spell shield coming in to mitigate a lot more of the damage. Will is just on a tear right now with these hooks. He's like, "Yo, Madlife, I heard you. Madlife, I heard you need a new prodigy. Let me hit you up right quick."
And I'm hearing from the peanut gallery that your mic is actually a little bit quiet, so you might want to turn it up a little bit. As we see Vi coming in the top lane looking for Sion. She's not level 6 yet, and he is.
Ooh.
Misses the Vault Breaker. Good dodge out by Bounty, using that vision to just deny an easy buy Q.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break to try and get my mic up. I think we're okay though. No, it's the highest that it can be, guys. So if I am a little quiet, I'm sorry, but it's fine. You're gonna hear Jones' voice anyway. It's a lot sexier than mine, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
And I wanna go back to that gank really quick when Vi's coming in level 5 to try and pick off that Sion, and I don't know if he just wasn't communicating, but Gnarls Barkley was sitting back and farming instead of looking forward for a taunt to try and facilitate that gank. So I'm not.
Definitely could be some miscommunication there. I definitely agree. But at the same time, I've always known and Will not even flinching at the fact that he was wide open for that Morgana binding, eats it, and is just like, you know what, mine's better. Oh, and Opie actually getting hit there, and 2 ultimates.
Yep, gotta respect the Vi. Gotta keep those wards when she's close to 6 and just not get too near the sides of the lane. Vi is just it's usually a free kill once she hits 6.
We're missing a hook there, and Elliot Urian coming in with the level 6, trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, can't make anything happen. Fate's Call coming out with Will Brooks, and he's gonna get sniped. Really, really good there from Bearded Bear Lover to get that kill.
Yeah,
That's what it's called, right? Curtain Call.
Curtain Call.
Curtain Call. Did I call it something else? I think I called it Fate's
You
Call.
said Fate's Call. That's
My bad.
Callista's ultimate.
Oh, alright.
But-
well, same thing.
This solo invade by the Vi, though, trying to look on that red buff, just immediately pushed off. Oh,
Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to. Oh no!
here comes the
Smith's
Shen
gonna be
ultimate.
there.
Stand United still goes down. But we're gonna have a nice fight breaking out. Sion's teleporting in.
Doesn't get the knockout, but he does have ultimate. He's gonna try and get something happen here, but looks like his team is actually backing off towards the bot side instead of going with him. He probably could have made
Yeah.
something happen, but his team didn't really follow up on him. And Varus already coming out with a lot of damage, and he only has a Coalfields. He only has a Warhammer right now.
That's an interesting pickup going for that Warhammer. Usually you see the Serrated Dirk come out earlier because of that lethality and also the passive on it, which is very underestimated. Where after you kill a minion, then your next basic attack will deal bonus 20 damage, and you just pop a minion and get a little extra poke down. And we're going to see a fighter on this dragon.
We got Gert coming out from the mid lane. Oh, but they split up. They don't know what they're doing right now. And
Oh, Jin is caught out on the bottom half of that, and he flashes to safety.
Doesn't look like anything will happen. Opie's out of mana. He's not going to be able to do anything here. Gert
And Greg flashes
forward.
in.
Yeah, nothing much is going to happen out of there.
It's a good flash for a flash there. Flash is traded in the mid lane. And red team takes the dragon away.
So a lot of miscommunication there by Team Great because they essentially split off in both directions of the dragon, where Opie was actually trying to make something happen and try to get maybe a pick on Gerg 7 on the Ziggs, but the bottom lane actually going down to try and pick off the Malzahar. Unfortunately, both were unsuccessful, and the Scion, both Scion and Urian were kind of questioning like, where do we go at this point, and it ended up costing Bounty his life. So they need to communicate a little bit better who they're going to go for. If they have one single shot caller, then they need to make sure that they listen to that shot caller, or else that's pretty much going to be the name of the game. It's just lost team fights.
Yeah, just leaving that Scion for dead, and Gnarls Barkley going in on him. We have a little bit of a scrap in the top lane. Gonna come out with the Shen a little bit ahead in health, but Diana's there for the follow-up.
I'm just going to go ahead and taunt out of there. Nothing really much is going to happen. And Bearded Bear Lover actually burning the curtain call, trying to get a pick on the Vayne. Fortunately, she does get lanterned out. So we're gonna have to, they should try and play around that ultimate. Will actually going 1v2, and Opie is gonna try and get this farm, but he might get caught out.
There goes the Vi ultimate. Yep, right down.
And a trade comes out of the top lane.
Oh, but the turret grabs that kill for the Shen, so 1 for 1 in the top lane. Not the most optimal of dives there.
And at this point in the game, you can't really have that happen. There's so much advantage that could be made if you're alive more than trading lives for a Shen.
Yep, and especially with that Ziggs on the map, Ziggs and Vi just shred down that mid lane turret, and there's no mid lane turrets outside that inhibitor turret for Team Great, so Team Grab Them by the Teemo is going to have a lot of map pressure off of that.
No kidding. And it doesn't look like it doesn't look like he got this. Varus actually got the Serrated Dirk, and we were talking about the farm in the mid lane, and Greg is already boasting a close to 50 CS lead.
Yeah, and
That
bot
can't
lane's
be
no
good.
slouch there either.
That can't be good.
No, that's exceptionally bad for the Varus, who really needs to hit those armor penetration items before it gets to like 25-30 minutes when the other team's tanks are going to have armor. He's not going to be able to really shred through anyone.
So if I'm on the side of, well, actually we're getting a fight right here, and he actually gets almost a pick. No, he wasn't able to capitalize on it. He doesn't have the ultimate. Gnarls Barkley's in the mix right now, running all sorts
See the
of disruption.
curtain call
Oh.
coming out. First shot hits, the rest miss, and Team Great walks away somehow from that with only burning 1 flash from that Scion.
Oh, but Will actually misses the hook there, but he actually flashes forward. Doesn't have any summoners to show for it. Burns the heal off of Bearded Bear Lover, and we're gonna be able to get that kill. And
And that's Zig's passive.
He didn't have vision. He didn't have vision for the ultimate there.
Yeah, he
Okay,
didn't
I
know
don't
his
think that's
Q.
the right way to go.
And yeah, no. Team grabbed them by the Teemo's lanes, did what they had to do, and they got their farm lead. Coming up, they just start grouping now around the Ziggs, and they'll pick people off and just shred through turrets. I don't know what Team Great can do to answer that at this moment.
That was actually my next question. Is, what do you think Team Great can really do at this point? If I'm gonna be completely honest, I think they have to. Well, they have to farm. Obviously speaking, they have to farm because at this point, all of your lane opponents have substantial farm leads against you. They're going to be able to pressure out a lot more, and they're also going to be looking to siege. So really, what you have to do is you have to try and cut them off at every single lane. But Will actually opting in for the pick here, gets the hook. Panda misses the flash, and he's going to pay for it with his life.
And Vayne picks up a quick kill to try and get her back into the game.
Yeah, that's not the worst, but in any case, to the point that I was making, they just have to go to whatever lane team grabbed them by the team. I was gonna try and siege down and try and get farmed that way because unfortunately Ziggs is just way too ahead, and he's gonna be dropping turrets like crazy, especially with this amazing lead that he has. 4-0, 132 farm, 15 minutes into the game. That's not exactly perfect farm, but it's damn near.
Trying to steal away that red buff with the curtain call.
A little cheeky.
Doesn't really get anything out of that. Yeah.
So I don't exactly think the Varus was the best pickup here. Maybe it was just the fact that he got a lot of lane pressure from the Vi. But honestly, he picked the Varus knowing that there was going to be a Vi.
And I think, we see Shen ulting down here.
Just get absolutely shredded. They just get absolutely shredded.
They're just trying to poke over that dragon wall, and 5 vault breakers over, salt and batteries, primary target, Vayne, and Shen ults in, and just take out 3 members of the blue team with an instantaneous 4-man.
Yeah, and all the while, Jhin has the range to be able to poke over that wall. So, in reality here, I don't really see Team Great coming back from this. They are a little bit more late game oriented. I will give them that with the Diana pick and the Vayne as well. So maybe they can try and hold out for another and
2 skill shots missed down that Jhin. That could have been a nice pick for them to stall out the game a little longer. At this stage in the game, I don't know that really there's much they can do other than try and get as much farm as they can on this Vayne and this Diana. Try and get them ahead where Diana can one-shot people and Vayne will be putting out damage. And an excellent flash by Aerion just to dodge out on that Vi-Q.
I think it's only 17 minutes into the game, and they're just team grabbing by a Teemo is everywhere. They're making plays at objectives, and they're making them count. And meanwhile, Team Great is just they can't really get anything going. They can't really trade towers for dragons at this point. They can't they can't give up buffs for some sort of ward control or anything. They are legitimately stuck right now, and they're gonna have to try and find something soon to stop the bleeding here, because it's just not happening. And Bounty is just getting absolutely manhandled by the Shen, Gnarls Barkley on this Shen.
Yeah, he's got that glimpse of the void up there, giving him extra power. Not that he needed it. He's been laying down the bully all lane.
Looks like Will's going to get caught out here. The curtain call coming out. Open trying to dodge out the last couple of shots.
Oh, he actually hits him. He may go down to that Deathfire despite his flash away.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, man, I mean, so some things that could have changed, or that could have changed the pace of the game. one assumption or one little critique that I have is maybe, hey, if Opie went for the ghost instead of the barrier, maybe at that point he could have made something happen, and that little extra bit of mobility every every 3 minutes, I believe. Maybe that would have helped him in lane. It more than likely would have. There was a couple of plays that Clumsy Chocobo wasn't exactly in range for that vault breaker a couple of times in lane. So maybe that ghost would have been that extra little oomph. But actually, they're going to opt in to try and get something to happen here off Will Brooks' death sentence, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It was a pretty good pick onto that Morgana, sneaking up trying to hit a binding, and wow, that Varus going in. He's got that Jhin locked down, and there he goes. Vai's come over the wall. She's trying to stand in the front line. Shen's taunting up, and Aurian goes into the back trying to get that Morgana.
It's not enough.
He just goes down to a Ziggs. He's got no magic resist, and that Gurg on that Ziggs, 160 farm, 6 kills. He's pumping out damage.
And he's already boasting the Ludens and the NMRL and Omicron there to Varus' Yomu's Ghostblade. And he already has a clean item advantage. And it's all coming off the back of that farm, if I'm going to be completely honest. Not all of it, obviously, because a lot of the kills helped him with that. But honestly, that's the difference right now between the Varus and the Ziggs, is that little farm difference there. They could have made a huge impact in the mid game.
Yeah, I don't know though that I really want to put that on the back of this barrier over Ghost Pick though, because Team grabbed them by the Teemo. They really put focus on that mid lane with that jungle. We've seen at least 2 Vi Assault and Batteries coming in, just pick off that Varus, and they're looking for Baron.
Doesn't look like they can do anything. Urion is here, but they have it warded. Will Brooks getting satchel charged into the Morgana binding, and Opie's gonna look to try and dodge a couple of these shots, and he's gonna go down to the the Mega Death Bomb by Ziggs.
Yeah, that Mega Inferno Bomb just absolutely obliterating that Varus. There's just no magic resist on the side of Team Great. This Ziggs is just gonna destroy whoever he hits.
Well, honestly speaking, I don't think Team Great at this point can even afford magic resist. They get magic resist for a little bit more survivability, but where's their damage going to come out of? If they're too busy spending money on magic resist items, their damage is not going to be able to shine forth. You put a lot of pressure on the Vayne, who hasn't completed an item. 22 minutes into the game with 103 farm, 1 and 2. Need to finish an item, if I'm going to be completely honest, as an AD carry.
Yeah, she opted to try and finish out that BF sword after not really having a spectacular farm lane, and instead of just going straight into that static shiv to give her at least some sort of power spike.
Vayne actually runs Phantom Dancer and Static Shiv, does she not?
Yeah, but what she wants to do usually is, you'll see they'll build that BF, and Will Brooks is caught out here by the Vi. The Deadly Flourish misses, and he'll just walk away. But usually the Vayne, they usually get enough farm to start off with that BF sword to give them that extra attack damage over their opponent in lane, and then go into the Static Shiv, finish their Infinity Edge, and then throw down a Phantom Dancer on the end of that, and just absolutely obliterate carries with their crit.
Penta Call coming out. Will's going to be able to get out, but that's going to be an Air Dragon going over to Team Gravity by the team out.
Yeah, Aurian walks over to that thinking about a steal and just says, nope, I'm out of here. Leaves right away.
So, man, I just really don't know what the team does to do. Oh, and Gnarls Barker actually coming around, going for the flank. Is Bounty going to be able to get out? No, he actually gets clipped by the edge of the Mega Inferno Bomb.
And we almost got to see him drag Vi straight into his base with her ultimate.
Have you ever seen that happen before? I actually haven't.
Oh, it's... Yeah, Vi's ultimate will follow that Scion all the way, and if she catches up to it, since her ult travels faster, she will just stop there, and he'll keep on going. But I think Greg's saving Clumsy Chocobo a little bit on that one. And they'll just take a free Baron off their pick. Team Great has no answer to the map movement by grab them by the Teemo.
At this point, when does the base fall? And, Opie actually trying to make a play here, trying to get Bearded Bear Lover. A great flash by Bearded Bear Lover, but he cancels a couple of
Vane's
attacks.
coming in.
Ooh.
And an excellent condemn to save Opie there and pick up the kill.
Bearded Bear Lover canceling his autos. You hate to see that happen. You just really hate to see an AD carry cancel his auto attacks there. Maybe it would have gone differently, or maybe hey, he would have actually traded the kills. But,
I mean, he's strong sitting at that 2 completed items, but I don't know if solo pushing up that bot lane was the right idea when all 4 of his team was taking Baron.
Oh,
he was just a sitting duck there.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially because Scion has the luxury of just running down the lane to try and catch up. Yurion actually getting caught out a little bit here, but it's going to take the Lantern out. So here's the 1-4 coming out from Team Grab Them by the Teemo, and why not? There's not one person that can really deal with Gnarls Barker at this point, and you're gonna have to try and get as many bodies as possible to try and get rid of that Ziggs.
Yeah, and this is
with the Crescent Blade.
And I think we're going to see this turret go down here. Yep, that just annihilated by Ziggs. I don't know why people let Greg have this Ziggs anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Ziggs is just disgustingly good again. Here comes the curtain call trying to pick off that Scion. All 4 shots hit, but it's not quite enough damage.
Able to get out of there.
And I think they're looking to dive here.
Yeah.
An excellent double shadow dash there.
Psycho Boy is going to be looking like the next one on the menu. No, actually gets saved by Will's play, but Will not really in the best position right now either. Getting chunked out by Bearded Bear Lover.
But Opie went down on the backside of that too from that Shen taunt, and I think this is going to have to be one heck of a hold. I think Red Team's going to be able to take these turrets here.
I do believe so as well. Oh, but Yurion actually getting the pick on Bearded Bear Lover. Can he make something else happen? No. He's just going to fall. Will hooking the
Excellent taunt flash by Shen to lock that Thresh down, and they're just going to take the base. This is game 1. Grab them by the Teemo.
Game 1, 27 minutes, 8-22. Rocking a, what is that?
18,000 gold lead.
18k gold lead. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. But,
It's not what you want to see if your team great.
No, definitely not. But they have come back from numbers like this before. Really, I honestly believe they lost at Champ Select. And I know, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, that doesn't happen. That only happens in high elo. But I legitimately think that they did lose in Champ Select, because you have to understand something. They didn't ban the Ziggs, and they did not ban the Vi. Both of those champions are absolutely insane right now, especially in the right hands. And when you go in and you first pick a Thresh, you don't exactly set yourself up for the best possible situation. I understand. If OP doesn't play Ziggs, or if Yurion doesn't play Vi, you need to ban out those champions. You need to ban out those quote-unquote high-level champions, so that way the other person on the person on the other side can't have them. So I think, honestly speaking, they lost a Champ Select here. So I really hope that they come back and maybe try and assemble some sort of a game plan coming in for game 2, because Team Grab Them by the Teemo came out swinging, and they came out with a phenomenal pick comp that worked to the T.
Yeah, they really had a great draft. Got the picks they wanted, and they just focused it down. They got that lead early with the Viganks in the mid lane, putting Gerg way ahead on that Ziggs, and there was just no stopping them from snowballing straight down the turrets.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna take a little look at the damage chart here as we go into the second. Yeah, I mean Greg, 27 minutes into the game, rocking 27k worth of damage. No one else on Team Great was even close to that. Uh, Doubled Opie's damage easily, and just can't have that happen. So, good job, or rather, congratulations to Team Grab Them by the Teamo on an emphatic uh, Game 1 victory. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, but when we come back, we got y'all with Game 2, so stick around.